Hi Aquarius, welcome back to Intuitive Garden Tarot. I pre-shuffled an oracle card for you just to get a sense of the message that wants to come through for my Aquarius friends, and what I got here is time. And underneath it says waiting, cycles, moments. So let's dig into this message further and find out what's going on with you Aquarius friends and why the message about time and cycles and waiting is coming up for you. I'm using the Ocean Tarot deck, beautiful deck for this message. Remember, it is a general message, and there's a link in the description box below if you want to book a one-on-one reading with me. I'd be happy to do that. And let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I love to hear from you, especially my international viewers and friends. Thank you so much for participating in this channel and letting me read for you. All right, without further ado, Aquarius, what do we have? What's your message? Nine of Pearls, the Devil, the Hermit, Ten of Pearls, Judgment, Page of Coral, and the Six of Spears. Okay, we have some heavy hitters here. Let's break it down. So in the recent past, we have the Hermit energy, which is going within, connecting to your own inner light, taking some kind of a time out, and pondering what your next step might be. Some of you have been connecting with your higher self. And I'm feeling like some of you are still in that energy, even though this is in the recent past. That's what's coming through, is that is leading you somewhere, and you're still staying connected somehow to that inner voice, that inner guidance of yours, which sounds great. All right, and you're showing up as the Nine of Pearls, which is the Nine of Cups in the traditional tarot deck. This is a card of contentment, really liking what you're experiencing right now. And that might be reflecting that there's a lot of contentment in connecting with yourself or getting some extra alone time right now. Maybe even going away on a vacation alone. That might be very fulfilling to you. But then the Devil energy follows this. And so I'm getting a second message coming through about the Nine of Pearls, which can sometimes be about overindulgence, frankly. So I feel some of you are being invited right now to look at your habits, where you're giving away your power, what might feel like it has power over you right now, whether it's a situation, a relationship. Because there is a level of contentment and fulfillment, but something's interfering with that right now is what I'm getting. It could be you. It could just be all inside you. It could be something external or someone external. With the Ten of Pearls, i.e. the Ten of Cups, at the heart of your reading, Aquarius, this is a card of reaching that happily ever after sense of fulfillment. Sometimes it's a card of family. You might be having a difficult time in your family relationships right now. It doesn't have to be biological family or nuclear family. It could even be your work family. But I feel like I'm I'm getting a sense that you're doing quite all right when you're in your own space and in your own energy, but interacting with others right now or some outside situation is challenging you. And I'm feeling you're pushing your hot energy, your heat, your fire out of view. And while on some level that might be a good thing or productive, for instance, when having a discussion with somebody about a heated topic, trying to stay out of getting triggered, of course, and kind of keeping those emotions at bay can be very productive, helpful, constructive. But it's creating a certain amount of heat that needs to find a way out. So I'm hearing and feeling the opportunity, the invitation to use that hermit perspective, that looking inside, looking for the next step of asking yourself, is there a place where I'm giving up my fire and my power to a situation, a person, a job, a substance of any variety, even the digital world. Wow, my tongue is doing its own thing today, sorry. The digital world, that can all be very sucking of our life force energy. It can be a form of manipulation. So many sources of information are designed to get your attention and to evoke some kind of feeling from us. So maybe it's simply that, just taking a little break from that type of information right now so that you can, again, just listen to your own guidance and not the noise outside of you. And judgment here in the near future is heeding the call, answering a call. Maybe you're putting out a big call to the universe. I'm getting asking for help from your guides, your ancestors, angels, ascended masters, whatever fits your belief system. But really calling in support right now to help you with whatever fire you might need to release, transmute, heal. Some very frustrating situation. And I really like the light is so bright and it's shining through. So you are being asked to step into the light, shine your light back to the hermit. This is the hermit's light. Your own guidance system, your own soul essence is wanting to be amplified right now and shared and shown. Because this kind of energy can snuff it out, stifle it, dim it. And that does not ultimately lead to the contentment or the fulfillment that we all want and deserve. The Page of Coral is learning how to engage with that fire energy. So it's showing me that there's room for growth in interacting with your creative power and your fire, which includes passionate emotions. And I'm very much getting it's about learning how to channel that fire in the right way that's in alignment with your higher self, with your higher calling, with your guidance from above. That's how to use this energy, because no energy is bad or wrong. Some people, when they learn that they have anger they didn't realize, or don't like getting angry, or are afraid of their anger or their power, I don't mean to keep harping on anger, but that is what's coming through. Your own fire. A lot of us are afraid that our fire might get out of control, hurt ourselves, hurt others, hurt our life situation, our relationship. But this is very much suggesting that you don't want to get rid of that. You don't want to suppress it, because that's when we get stuck in a really uncomfortable place where we're not in our power, where we have the potential to do exactly what we're trying not to do, to blow up or implode internally if it's just happening inside yourself. So learning how to channel that fire into, again, a higher frequency, a frequency that is productive and creative, not destructive. And the Six of Spears, which represents the Six of Swords, is about moving to a better place, getting to a place of more calm, more clarity. And how appropriate that this mermaid is getting to a better place riding on the back of this shark. Looks like a great white. That's using this energy and turning it around in a way that you can really connect with your higher power, the higher power that's in you, the higher power that's around you, that is wanting to assist you, that's available for assistance. And look at this coral, how there's that tube of light going up to the surface of the ocean beyond. I feel like I'm hearing turning water to steam. That's again the transmutation, changing of the same basic elements into something else. So instead of just having fire and water, you can create steam, and from that you have a new element to work with, and it's lighter, it's more available. And I hesitate to use the word control, but I keep hearing it's a little bit more controllable. It's a little bit more malleable to your input and your direction and intention. That's the word. Setting your intention instead of just kind of trying to shove it away or deal with it or whatever this might be for you, Aquarius. Setting an intention to channel this energy in a new, productive, lighter way, higher frequency way, is where you're going to find that you can again return to a place of calm, peace, clarity. And I mentioned some of you might even have traveled or gone someplace by yourself. This might be something you're doing or being called to do, again, on some kind of journey alone, physically somewhere where you can recoup and reset yourself in a way that you're more in alignment with the energy, because right now it seems to be like it's getting the better of you or the best of you, and it doesn't have to be that way at all. Once you find your power and your own light, I think you can redirect and course correct with this energy. All right, so back to the card of time, waiting, cycles, and moments. This is not going to be an overnight change. Cycles are important. If this is something that, is coming up again and again and again for you, it is basically saying that you haven't unlocked it yet, and it might take some time to figure that out. But by paying attention to those cycles, I think you're going to get more clarity and get more of a handle on how you can re-empower yourself here in this energy. And let's get a message from the garden to finish this up for you, Aquarius. Remember, please, to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much. All right, what's the final message here for my Aquarius friends? And I'm getting to, before I go on, I mentioned there's some strong energy here. The Hermit is a very strong, wise, old soul energy, the energy of an ascended master. And I firmly believe we all have that inside of us. And if any energy can overcome this, controlling or frustrating energy, it's this. Your internal wisdom, your internal knowing is very powerful. So I just want to point out that you have what it takes. You are equipped to transmute whatever's going on that might be frustrating for you, Aquarius. Longevity. Another reference to time. So we started and ended with time, and longevity is telling me this is a marathon, not a sprint. This is probably a long-standing pattern that's been following you, poking at you for probably a very long time. I'm getting years, if not decades. And Scorpio energy is showing up here, so there's something very deep, something deep in your emotions that wants to come to the surface. And again, it might take some time to get into those deeper layers and for you to experience the full optimization of whatever changes you might be able to make. And there's a little nod here to solar energy. I know we're getting blasted today. Check out Stefan Burns if you haven't already on YouTube. He does a great job of informing us of what's going on with the sun, the other planets, 3i Atlas. But what is the date? The 6th? Yeah, it's the 6th of November as I'm recording this, 2025, and there is a bunch of solar energy coming in. And speaking of solar energy coming in, and when I mentioned connecting to your guides and ancestors, and look at the sun, coming through the ocean water down into the dark depths. The dark depths of the ocean is Scorpio energy. Deep waters, deep emotions, stuff that's dark and heavy because it's not seen and it's so intense. But that light is coming through, and you don't have to do this alone, like I said. And even if you're not one to connect to your ancestors and guides or to pray to other helpers that are available, this is telling me that it's also coming from the sun. So even if you do nothing, you will experience shifts in your perspective and the amount of light coming to you. What you're being asked to do, though, is to harness that in a way of intention, to really align with the energy in the way that you intend to use it. If we ignore it and let it do its own thing, it's going to bump up on all our blocks, and you're going to get more of this, more of that fire, more physical stuff, symptoms, problems, relationship stuff, symptoms, problems. Well, so far this is on par with the other readings I've done, so I just want to assure you you're not alone. And if you haven't already watched previous videos, either in your signs, sun sign, rising sign, moon sign, weekly readings, general readings for the past 2-3 months, I would recommend going back to early September in my video history. Again, subscribe if you haven't already, then you can even more easily access all of the videos I've ever posted. But that energy is still happening and still rippling out, and it will add to this reading today for you, Aquarius. I really hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my reading, and I will see you next time. Take care.